welcome to the show and thank you for tuning in today. My name is Daisy Kandole and I'm glad to be guiding the chat that we're going to be having in a few. But before that, I'd love to give a chance to our lovely panelists to introduce themselves such that we know who they are, and then we can open up our discussion. Please.
Hello viewers, I'm Annette Charimpa Mugabe. I work with Reproductive Health Uganda, and I'm glad to be part of this discussion.
Hello everyone, my name is Charles Owekmeno. I work with the Sexual Reproductive Health and Rights Alliance Uganda as the National Coordinator. I'm very excited and so glad to be part of this panel this morning for this chat. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gillian Omgisha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, panelists. I am excited because what we are going to discuss encompasses a number of things, and we hope that you'll find the discussion fruitful. So please keep it locked while we have this discussion. Over the past couple of weeks, NTV has been airing a series entitled Health and Life Skills Education for Young People, which was a program that was planned and organized by the SRHR Alliance in partnership with Reproductive Health Uganda, Straight Talk Foundation, and NTV, because this is where I've been airing the show. The conversation has been and is still flowing via social on Twitter using the hashtag SexualityEducationUG, and I must say the engagements and the impressions created by this series have been massive. Now that the series is has come to an end, this discussion is essentially to just do a small reflection, you know, on how it has been flowing, what has it achieved, and also to possibly strategize and see what we can do better. I'd love to start with you, Mr. Charles Owekmeno. I would love for you to drive the chat that we are going to have. I'm saying chat because, you know, as young people, this is the language that we use. I don't want to make it so formal. We would love to know, Mr. Charles, why a TV series on health and life skills education for young people? Where did this idea stem from, and what did you hope it would achieve by, you know, airing it out on media?
Well, Daisy, thank you very much, and welcome again our viewers. As you know, we are in a very extraordinary circumstance because of the COVID. And as an alliance under the Get Up Speak Out program, we have been airing and providing sexuality education program in over 150 schools, and now the schools are closed. So as a team, we were thinking, how do we still reach out to young people? And then after that, we also got a lot of information that was coming out, the media reports around increasing teenage pregnancy, around increasing sexual violence against the young people. So we thought as a team that it's important to come up with a package that we can air out so that we can be able to reach out to these young people. But most importantly, we wanted to work with Ministry of Education so that we provide the kind of information that is within the priorities that they need. But the other idea about this is that you know that this country has been grappling with challenges amongst the young people, especially issues of teenage pregnancy, issues of child marriage, issues of sexual and gender-based violence, and even issues of mental health among the young people have been ongoing for some time. And we thought that through this package that we're bringing out online, we will even have a big advantage of reaching out to parents, reaching out to young people across the country, because we're only in 150 schools in Busoga. So that's why we thought that it's essential to air out these series. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. I'd love to come to you, Miss Annette Charimpa. You've been privileged. I understand that 2 of your daughters actually took part in this series. And aside from being a parent, you're also a professional. You have a job and all that. Did you have a chance to actually sit down and either watch it with them or have a conversation with them about it?
Thank you, Daisy. First of all, I would love to thank the SRH Alliance, Reproductive Health Uganda, and partners for basically coming up with a series. It was such a very good opportunity for us as parents to have this series, Break the Silence, on sexual and reproductive health issues. We all know the challenges that women or parents go through in terms of talking about sexuality issues. It's not easy because of either the culture, the religious, but we are not empowered as parents. Now, having this series come up, it was an opportunity for us to start the discussion. So breaking the silence on sexual and reproductive health issues was very, very important. But what I also noted, the series we are well balanced in terms of content, in terms of flow, but in terms of participation. Having young people lead and participate within the discussion was very, very encouraging. I have had some opportunities to watch the series with my children, and that was very, very important for me, because then we can talk about the little things, but also expound on the issues that we are not able to talk before this series came through. Yeah, but for the series that they have watched on them when they are alone, I actually go back home and ask, so what was the series about today? Can we talk about some of these issues? And then that starts off the discussion. And we've been able to answer some of the questions that I would probably not ask, or the children would not ask me. And what is also important is that one thing leads to the other. If you're talking about, say, the very first one on menstrual hygiene, for example, then you talk about what they have gone through during that month on menstruation, what challenges and what you need to do. But it brings in the bigger picture of the family to discuss sexuality aspects. So it has been really very good to have this series run, and we encourage that we can actually move beyond the children who are watching on screen to reach to those who are not able to have those opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Annette. Gillian, our young person in the house, you took part in this series actively. And my little sister actually also saw you on television, and she was like, oh, one day I want to actually be like Gillian on screen and discuss issues, you know, to do with health, something that can really be of great impact into young people's lives. So Gillian, did you feel any impact as someone who participated in the series, as someone who, you know, watched yourself as well on screen, as someone who had discussions with your friends, I'm sure, after the series was aired? Did you feel like there was an impact? Did you learn anything from the series?
Obviously, I learned something. Okay, I learned a lot because I was lacking in some things. Even what I acted in, some parts I had no idea like about them. Yeah, I really learned a lot.
And how about your friends? I'm very curious to know, because, you know, we aired this series with an aim of reaching out to young people ages 15 to 24. And I'm sure a lot of your friends fall in that age bracket. Did it open up conversations with, let's say, maybe if you have a phone in your WhatsApp group, or maybe when you've gone to see your friend, you know, what did they feel? What were their opinions about it?
They were happy to get the information, because obviously at home you don't really get it. So like now getting it on TV, you know, at times you don't have that confidence, okay, to confide in your parents. So now getting it on TV, they got informed. They got informed,
right?
Yeah.
Mr. Charles, I'd like to come to you, because she's pointed out something very important, as they don't get it from home, and you're not hearing it from your parents and all that. But then we understand that these are issues that are directly affecting them as young people. So when you got this idea and you were aiming at putting out this television series, were you meaningfully engaging these young people as well to find out that these issues, if these issues are actually affecting them as young people before you aired them out?
Yes, thank you, Daisy. Exactly. We actually first carried out a rapid assessment, and it was a youth-led. Our youth wing of the Alliance are the ones that carried out and found what was coming out from the perspective of the young people, but also from the perspective of the parents. So the discussions were actually tailored around this. For example, we're asking ourselves, why the rising teenage pregnancy? And why is it that it's even increasing more now when the children are at home? Where are they getting the information? Where are they getting these exposures from? Where are the vulnerabilities coming from? So those kind of reflection really nurtured the kind of discussion that we needed to air out. And we want, what is very important behind all this is for young people to appreciate that there's risk in certain behavior. For example, if you reach the adolescence and you're getting body changes, let's talk about menstrual health.
Yeah.
What is the implication when you engage in certain behaviors?
Yeah.
What is the implication to your health, you know, keeping yourself clean, but at the same time, you know that at that point when you engage in risky sexual behavior, you're going to get pregnant. So the young people need to appreciate that implication so that when they're out there and they're exposed to these behaviors, they begin to ask themselves, am I safe? Am I ready for pregnancy? Because this action can result into that. So these are the kind of issues behind the kind of discussion that we structured to air out. And we want to thank NTV for that. But also, most importantly, we wanted the parents to appreciate these issues. Actually, we're encouraging parents to watch together with their children. They appreciate these issues so that the conversation does not end with this series. Would like this conversation to continue afterward. Parents to and like Annette said, this was just to open up, you know, to break the silence so that conversation will continue. So parents should also follow this closely, and we are going to even share this information more on YouTube and elsewhere, so parents can still access and watch and go back and have more conversation with their children.
Okay. I think that is actually very important. Continuous discussion is key. This shouldn't be the end of it. We should continue engaging the different stakeholders such that we can continue to have this discussion and it will be as impactful as we hoped it would be. Miss Annette, I'd like to come to you as a parent. Would you say there is a difference between now the nature of conversation you have with your children before and now when you make a comparison? Do you think you're now able to freely talk about issues to do with health and life skills education with them?
Thank you, Daisy. Putting it into perspectives, from the period COVID came into play and we are locked down with our children, we are worrying about so many other things and not issues around health probably and life skills and sexuality. But the reality has set in with the media reports on increased teenage pregnancies. And you know, when you have a teenage pregnancy, it also indicates you had unprotected sex. So that brings around issues of sexually transmitted infections, HIV-related challenges, and many others. So having this series was a spark to say, oh, in addition to worrying about food, in addition to worrying about other issues, we must tackle health and life-related issues. So it was a very important opportunity for me to refocus the discussion in the house, to say, okay, I think it's time for us to talk about these issues. And then each of the topic has something that you can build on. That is the beauty. But also had the opportunity that my children were participating in the series. So building on this was actually very easy for me. But one thing I've also noted as a parent is being friends with your children makes a difference. It helps them to open up. It helps them to confide in you, but also seek that kind of support they need from you. It doesn't matter when they need, for example, sanitary pads. It's easy for them to come and say, you know, I need a top up on this. If one of them has had a challenge in one way or the other, they'll come and we talk about it. But also having sibling support is very, very important. In the event that I'm not present, who else can they confide in? Do they have to wait for somebody to come from outside? Or within themselves, they can actually talk about these issues, and that is what we need to build as parents. Having this other friend within the house, a sibling that you can confide in, is very important. And there are also those difficult situations that we must face. who is actually making the girls pregnant? Where are they getting the sexually transmitted infections when they're at home? It also means it is from our relatives also, the people we are staying within, the people staying with us in our homes. And what does this mean? That beyond the children, we need to bring other participants in the houses. This could be the maids, this could be the uncles, the aunties that need to join the discussion.
Okay.
We need to go beyond the children and bring in other significant people within the homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Annette. We're going to go for a quick break, but please do keep it locked and continue following the discussion.